Meteorologist Cecily Tynan, weeknights on Action News at 11.
Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with Rick Williams and Monica Malpass.
Good morning. It's 5 o'clock on this Thursday, November 21st. Here's what's happening in the news this morning. Former Cherry Hill Rabbi Fred Newlander is now a convicted killer. Now comes the sentencing phase. We'll have the details.
Dozens of students are among the victims of a suicide bomber in Jerusalem this morning. And the Bachelor makes his choice. We'll hear from his new fiancée phoning her friends moments after the big show. She won.
She's from the Delaware Valley.
Yes,
all right. Now, David Murphy, who used to date her, that's a quite...
Really?
Has
wow, David and Helene.
Yeah, well, that says a lot about me and my dating skills, huh? All right, Storm Tracker 6 live radar right now shows you no rain in sight, and things are going downhill a little bit as we go through today, but boy, wasn't yesterday beautiful. Outside right now, and Sky 6 is at the airport. Dry conditions for now, although later today that could change. Right now, partly cloudy skies. Cool once again, 37 degrees in Philadelphia. By 9 o'clock, AccuWeather says we'll be up to 47 degrees, partly sunny skies, but after that, a little bit of a hitch in your plans. By noon, mostly cloudy, 54, and by 5 o'clock, clouds and maybe some rain showers starting to build into the region. 54 degrees coming down from our high of 56 degrees. Yesterday, beautiful. Today, rain on the way, and the rain's going to hang around for a couple of days, too. We'll talk about that and have your weekend call from AccuWeather with the 5-day just
Didn't
ahead.
we just finish with the rain?
Here
we go again.
That's like the same thing we've been saying over and over again the last couple of months.
Exactly. Yes, just what you said, David.
Time now for an update on traffic. It's all
right.
so confusing.
Yes, it is. John Valerio in the Smart Traveler Center. Boy, do you have a busy morning ahead of you, huh?
Just walking in here, I was busy. Anyway, we do want to go to Chopper 6. They're out there to help us out. We do start the morning with a few problem areas out there. We do have the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and we will go to a map. There it is. We are looking from the action cam, and it is Pennsylvania Turnpike westbound that is blocked at Norristown because of, you see that partially overturned tractor-trailer accident. And what we do want to do is go to a map to give you the alternate route, and basically what you want to do is to exit at Mid-County, take the Blue Route southbound to the Schuylkill West to the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and avoid that area westbound on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Now, in addition to that, we have another road closed, another accident, this one in New Jersey. Route 130 southbound is blocked at Park Avenue, and that is in Pennsauken. Actually, it's from an earlier accident. We still have downed wires and poles and police department activity in that area as well. Smart Traveler is brought to you by Sunoco. Stop into Sunoco. Get your 2002 Sunoco toy truck. It's a great holiday gift. And I'm John Valerio for Channel 6 Action News. Rick, back to you.
All right, John, thank you. In the news this morning, the jury that yesterday convicted Cherry Hill Rabbi Fred Newlander will return to court today to decide if he should be executed for murdering his wife. Newlander showed little emotion when the Monmouth County jury of 7 men and 5 women found him guilty of hiring hitmen to murder his wife, Carol. It took the jury 27 hours to conclude that Newlander paid Len Janoff and Paul Daniels to beat his wife, Carol, to death back in 1994 so he could continue an affair with Philadelphia radio personality Elaine Sonsini. The rabbi's attorney talked about what Newlander said to him after
He essentially thanked me and thanked my staff. He's a very courageous, strong man, and I think you'll see that tomorrow.
Newlander did not testify during the retrial, but he plans to testify during the penalty phase today, pleading for his life. And that phase of the trial will begin this afternoon.
Rabbi Newlander's Cherry Hill neighbors say they were not surprised by the verdict. One neighbor put up a sign on his front lawn after yesterday's verdict was announced, saying justice at last. And the neighbors we talked to agreed with the sign. Here's more from them.
And I think it's a just verdict. I do believe that he was guilty.
What about the death penalty question?
I have very mixed emotions about death penalty, and I really don't think that, I think life in jail would be, in prison for the rest of his life would be fine.
If it was a crime of passion, I think maybe that would be something different, but I mean, he had it in his mind well in advance, and I think he needs to give his life for the one he took.
And the Newlander home, the place where Carol was murdered, is now a rental property. Well, Newlander returns to court, as we said today, for the penalty phase of the trial. Will he be sentenced to life or death? Stay with Action News for full coverage of the proceedings.
Turning to other news this morning, a former Drexel University student has admitted in court that he was the inside man for a $3 million betting scam. 29-year-old Chris Harn of Newark, Delaware, also implicated his 2 co-defendants, who were his fraternity brothers at Drexel University. Harn worked for the company that processed computerized bets on the Breeders' Cup and other major horse races. He told a judge yesterday that he modified a bet after the race was over so that they could win an estimated $3 million. Harn, along with Derek Davis, Glenn De Silva, surrendered to authorities last week. University of Pennsylvania officials are investigating the alleged beating of a Princeton student last weekend. 19-year-old John Brantle says that while he was sleeping in a lounge area on Penn's campus last Saturday, he was beaten, kicked, and doused with motor oil by Penn students who then threatened to set him on fire. Brantle was in University City with 14 other members of Princeton's debate team for a weekend tournament. Chopper 6 over North Delsey Drive in Vineland, New Jersey last night with a discovery of old military ammunition caused quite a scare to the community. Someone cleaning out a building here found old explosives and called police. Nearby buildings were evacuated and local roads shut down while they removed the items, but officials do not believe any of the items posed an immediate danger.
We have a developing story this hour from Kuwait where 2 American soldiers have been shot. It happened on a highway. Both soldiers were seriously wounded, and we'll update the story as soon as we get more information. Meantime, an apparent suicide bomber has blown up a crowded commuter bus in Jerusalem during this morning's rush hour. Israeli police say at least 10 people have been killed, dozens wounded. No group has claimed responsibility yet, but Israel blames the attack on the Palestinians. It is the first such attack in Jerusalem in weeks. Now for the latest on Iraq, U.S. warplanes were again targeted by Iraqi missiles and artillery in the southern no-fly zone. In response, they bombed 3 Iraqi air defense communication relay stations. The Bush administration claims that the Iraqi attacks violate the UN disarmament resolution. Meanwhile, the chief of the UN weapons inspections team, Hans Blix, says they are ready for a new round of inspections starting next week. And the 2-day NATO summit continues in Prague today, where President Bush continues to press for a united front in a possible showdown with Saddam Hussein. China, Denmark, and several Gulf states, including Kuwait, say they are willing to help out, but many others say it's too soon to talk about committing forces. The Bush administration has quietly asked 50 nations to chip in troops and supplies. Meanwhile, at the NATO summit, the military alliance is welcoming 7 formerly communist nations as new members.
Well, back here at home, it looks like New Jersey's municipal leaders will have to wait a little longer to find out whether Governor Jim McGreevey will freeze state aid again next year. The governor addressed the League of Municipalities convention yesterday here in Atlantic City. Members were hoping he would talk about next year's funding, but instead he delivered a policy address on his smart growth agenda. The debate over naming a new high school is heating up in Westchester. Last night, a committee heard public comments on whether the building should be named for the late civil rights leader Bayard Rustin. Rustin grew up in Westchester and organized the 1963 March on Washington, but his record as a draft resistor and his homosexuality have stirred opposition among some community members. A number of Philadelphia faith-based groups met yesterday to discuss how to help the school district's new parent truancy officers. During the meeting, members spoke about the root causes of truancy.
This is something that we need to deal with. Our communities are falling apart. It's more than a truancy issue, it's a family issue.
There are over 26,000 children who are eligible for the regional truancy courts, and that means they have been absent, unexcused, at least 25 days or more in the previous year and are on track to do it again.
Most people in the city of Philadelphia and churches are in denial about the issue of truancy and how that links to homicide, suicide, and sudden traumatic death.
Parent Truancy Officers Patrol will begin to patrol the streets on December 2nd.
Well, the Bachelor made his decision in front of a national television audience last night, and he chose a young woman from our area. It happened right here on Channel 6. Aaron asked 28-year-old Helena Starowitz of Gloucester City, New Jersey, if she would marry him. And to the delight of Helene's friends watching in Gloucester City, she said yes. How about that? Well, after the show, Helene talked on the phone to her friends who were all excited.
Oh, I guess so you are. You got a rock on your hand. Are you with Aaron? Yeah.
Helene told the girls that she will see them next month. It's going to be wedding bells.
Boy,
how about that?
those are some really happy young ladies there.
Yes, they are. They've been pulling for her the whole time.
Okay, they're pulling. All right. Now let's check that AccuWeather forecast. 10 minutes after the hour. David, did you scream like that when you found out that Helene won?
I did. I was just so excited.
Giddy, weren't you?
Yeah, it was fun. Anyway, hey, the local girl made good, right? Storm Tracker 6 live radar. No rain out there, but that's going to change later on today and tonight. Get you outside right now. We've got dry conditions for your ride in on City Avenue and other roads around the Delaware Valley. But again, some afternoon showers may start making things slick for the afternoon rush hour. We'll see about that. Presently 37 degrees, humidity 100%, barometer 30.09 and falling. The wind's light again, southeast at 3 miles per hour, and the ocean water temperature 42 degrees. Boy, yesterday was such a beaut, but today, well, you can see the changes. Cloud cover overnight, coming in kind of late, but getting here nonetheless. And as we go through the day, it looks like the clouds will get thicker and thicker. Too bad we aren't out west. High pressure's clearing things out there. Over here, though, we've got a couple of areas of precipitation, some coming from the south, some from the west. And later on this afternoon, we'll look for the arrival of that. Temperatures across the country still mild down in the south. 73 today's high in Dallas, 61 in Atlanta. And there's that ridge of high pressure making things relatively mild out to the west, too. 63 isn't a bad high for this time of year in Denver. But here in the northeast, well, you can see through the Great Lakes region, that cooler air starting to sweep down, and it's going to be here in time for the weekend. Today's high, not too bad. AccuWeather says we'll still get up to 56 degrees, but clouds will be on the increase, and we'll wind up mostly cloudy when you average things out today. And there is some afternoon rain possible as that frontal system comes in from the west. And then as we move into Friday, well, as you'd expect, that frontal boundary is still going to be there. Low pressure coming up the coast. We kind of get sandwiched between the two of them, and that rain and drizzle continues through Friday. Tomorrow's high still 56 degrees, but it'll feel cool and damp with all of that rain and drizzle off and on around all day. And after that, you've got that cold air sitting just out to the west of us, and that's going to be here for Saturday and Sunday. A much cooler weekend than what we've had the last couple of days. Call from AccuWeather, here they come. Clouds on the way today, and there's going to be more than a couple of them around today, too. 56 degrees today's high, not much different from yesterday when we hit 58, but of course yesterday we had light winds, all that sunshine, and it really felt nice out there. Today, a bit of a change. 31 right now in Trenton, same thing in Allentown. Chilly in Reading, 32, 33 in Lancaster, 34 in Wilmington, 34 in Atlantic City, 41 in Cape May. Oddly enough, it's milder than some spots up in the Poconos because you have more cloud cover in overnight in the Poconos, insulating things. So 37 degrees to the north. 41 degrees in Center City, 37 at the airport, 40 here at Channel 6. Still the freezing mark in the northeast, and 39 in Camden. The exclusive AccuWeather 5-day forecast, more clouds gradually building into the picture today. A high of 56 degrees, and again, late this afternoon, the possibility of a shower or two coming in. 48 degrees then tonight with rain and drizzle. More rain and drizzle on Friday off and on with a high of 56 degrees, and here comes that colder air for the weekend. Windy and cool on Saturday, 46 degrees. If there's any precipitation lingering early Saturday morning, it could actually fall in the way of a couple of flurries, but no big deal. Sun giving way to clouds on Sunday, 48, and then Monday, clouds and sun, 44 degrees, kind of cool there. It's going to be a coastal storm around on Monday, but it looks like it's going to stay away from us.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, all right. Really.
All right, thank you, David, and much more ahead on Action News for your Thursday. Coming up next, one of the most powerful rockets in the world takes flight.
Plus, a new way to travel for those on a budget. Those stories, an update on traffic from John Valerio, much more when Action News comes right back. Stay with us.
Stan is getting ready for the holidays. He uses his Discover card because it pays him for the things he buys. So far, he's earned a cashback bonus award of $160. It's money he used to add a few last-minute touches. Discover card. Why not get paid for the things you buy anyway?
Everyone's mad about Scotch Plaid.
I'm mad about Plaid, all the things you can do. I'm mad about Plaid, yeah, I'm sticking with you. He's so mad about, she's so mad about, they're so mad about, we're mad about Plaid. Mad about Plaid, all the things you can do. I'm mad about Plaid, yeah, I'm sticking with you. I'm mad about Plaid.
Scotch brand and has the perfect tape for whatever you need to do. Scotch, great ideas that stick.
If you've made the important decision to quit smoking, call the American Cancer Society and join millions of others for the 26th Annual Great American Smokeout on November 21st. It took me years to finally quit. Unlike me, you now have effective tools to quit, including FDA-approved products and telephone support through the American Cancer Society. I wouldn't play golf without the right clubs in my bag. To stop smoking, you need the right tools, too.
Brought to you by Nicoderm CQ and Nicorette.
Morning again, 5:15. Now Thursday morning, let's get a check of traffic.
Once again, John Valerio standing by in the Smart Traveler Center, and the Pennsylvania Turnpike is maybe the place to avoid this morning.
Absolutely.
No question about it, guys. We have two areas of areas to avoid. And let's go to the action cam. They're going to help us out with Pennsylvania Turnpike. We are looking just at Norristown. Westbound lanes all blocked at Norristown. As you can see, look to the side there. We have a tractor trailer off to the side, and it's on its side. So we do want to avoid that if you can. Now, let's go to a map. We'll give you an alternate route around that if you're traveling westbound on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. You do want to exit before that at Mid-County and take the Blue Route southbound to the Schuylkill West, back to the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Now let's head via maps into New Jersey for the second problem area. It is Route 130 southbound that is blocked at Park Avenue in Pennsauken, New Jersey. We do have police department activity from an earlier accident, a downed pole and wires in that area as well. Smart Traveler is brought to you by Sunoco. Stop into Sunoco, get your 2002 Sunoco toy truck. It's a great holiday gift. And I'm John Valerio for Channel 6 Action News. Monica, back to you.
All right, thank you again, John. In other news, the Space Shuttle Endeavour has been given the green light for a Friday liftoff tomorrow. The launch has been delayed twice in its quest to get to the International Space Station. Endeavour will bring back some astronauts who've been living on board the outpost since June. Meanwhile, Boeing's newest, most powerful rocket is making a big impression.
2, 1, main engine start. And we have liftoff of the first Boeing Delta IV rocket carrying the
And the long-awaited Delta IV blasted off yesterday, carrying a satellite into orbit. The 200-foot Delta IV signals a new generation of rockets. It is the first conventional rocket to use a new U.S.-built engine in 30 years.
And taking a look at this morning's Action News Business Report, Boeing is planning to cut more jobs. Some 5,000 employees from the Commercial Airplanes Division will lose their jobs next year. The new reductions will come on top of nearly 30,000 job cuts made at Boeing since the September 11th terrorist attacks. A Boeing spokesperson says the first layoff notices will go out on Friday and will take effect January 24th. In other business news, Delta Airlines is creating a new low-fare airline in a bid to lure budget-minded travelers from its lower-cost rivals. The new airline, which has not yet been named, will be launched next year with service between the Northeast and Florida, where Delta is facing intense competition. Company officials say most one-way fares will be between $79 and $299. Investors are continuing their modest rally this morning. At this hour, S&P futures are up 4 points to 923. Overseas, Tokyo's Nikkei average closed up 208 points to 86.68. Yesterday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed up 148 points to finish at 86.23. The Nasdaq rose 44 points to close at 14.19. And the S&P 500 climbed 17 points yesterday to finish at 9.14.
In Health Check, scientists will announce today their attempt to create a new life form. The Washington Post reports that a gene scientist and a Nobel laureate will try to create a single-cell, partially man-made organism with the minimum number of genes required to sustain life. Meanwhile, researchers have created the first vaccine that appears to prevent cervical cancer. Early testing shows the experimental vaccine to be 100% effective against a sexually transmitted virus that causes the disease. The results are being called tremendous in today's New England Journal of Medicine. It's not clear how long the protection lasts. Cervical cancer affects 470,000 women a year worldwide and kills about half of them.
Moving up on 20 after 5 Thursday morning. Still to come on Action News, an update on our top stories.
And in sports, former Dallas Cowboy Troy Aikman turns down the Eagles. We'll explain. David.
Dry but chilly around the Delaware Valley once again this morning. We'll run down some of your area temperatures when Action News comes right back.
Kohl's Big One is back, and it's this Saturday only.
Wake up and get extra savings with early bird specials from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. only. Then shop till midnight at Kohl's biggest one-day sale of the season. You'll find 20 to 60% savings on big brands and big styles throughout the store. It's the big one at Kohl's, this Saturday only with extended hours from 6 a.m. to midnight. The big one is back, and it's bigger than ever. Kohl's, that's more like it.
Lesson 1.
Stilvoll.
Stylish.
Kraftvoll.
Powerful.
Was für ein Auto ist das?
What kind of car is this?
Introducing the all-new 240 horsepower Accord from Honda. Wie haben Sie das geschafft?
How did they do it?
Kids create unique sports. So we created a unique detergent designed to clean tough grass stains. Whisk Sport. Go ahead, get dirty. Kids create unique sports. So we created a unique detergent designed to clean tough grass stains. Whisk Sport. Go ahead, get dirty.
There are several places to get the world's best coffee. Now your home is one of them. The Cuisinart Automatic Grind and Brew makes coffee that tastes like it comes from your favorite coffee bar. It starts with the push of a button. The Automatic Grind and Brew grinds whole beans, releasing all the flavor. Then it brews a wonderfully fresh pot of coffee. So why go out for great tasting coffee? Let the Cuisinart Automatic Grind and Brew bring all the enjoyment home. Available at fine stores everywhere.
If you see news happening, call the Action News tip line toll-free at 866-NEWS-6 or contact us online at WPVI.com.
22 minutes after the hour, Thursday morning, and what a splendid day yesterday. Let's check area temperatures, David. Can we expect the same? Probably not.
Probably not, no. It looks like temperatures are going to be fairly in line with where they were yesterday, but we're going to see an increase in cloud cover, and later on some rain is in the picture. Right now, we are looking at Sky 6, the Jersey State Aquarium, and the rest of Camden from across the river, and some of the outlying areas below freezing at this point. In Bucks County, Warwick checks in at 31 degrees, Coatesville, Chester County at just 29. Bellevue in Newcastle County, Delaware at 30, and Fairton, New Jersey and Cumberland County, 28 degrees. Obviously, if you're dressing the kids, the coats are going to come in handy once again this morning. Later on this afternoon, things are going to get a little bit better temperature-wise. We'll go up to 56 degrees, but after about 4 o'clock or so, we'll have to look out for some showers building in. Rick, Monica?
All right, David, thank you again. Here's another look at what's happening in the news Thursday morning. The westbound lanes of the PA Turnpike are closed at Mid-County at this hour. This is a live picture of crews here working to that overturned truck that you can see in the distance. No one is hurt, but there is a fuel leak, and again, the westbound lanes are closed at this hour. Now that jurors in the Rabbi Fred Newlander murder trial have convicted him of killing his wife, they must decide if he should die for the crime. The penalty phase in the case begins this afternoon. Newlander is expected to take the stand to plead for his life. And at least 10 people on a commuter bus in Jerusalem are dead this morning, the latest victims of a suicide bomber. The blast injured dozens of others. Many school children were on the bus. No word yet on how many of them are among the casualties.
In sports, the Eagles have made former Dallas Cowboys quarterback Troy Aikman an offer that he could refuse. The offer was to step in for injured quarterback Donovan McNabb. Aikman said he'd rather continue doing color commentary during NFL games. Meanwhile, McNabb took his broken leg to Houston, Texas for a second opinion from doctors at Baylor University.
Hopefully get some questions answered. Just make sure that everything be all right and I get back and play again.
How difficult is this time for you?
Not difficult at all. It happens to everybody. Just got to stay focused on what your goals are and just continue to move forward.
Any doubt you'll be able to play this season?
Yeah, I'll be playing. I'll be back playing. Don't worry. I'll be back.
Well, one thing McNabb wants to find out, would a screw in the brake quicken his recovery? He hopes to get an answer to that question today. The pressure was on Allen Iverson and the Sixers last night. They didn't want to become the first team this year to lose to the Memphis Grizzlies, and they didn't. Iverson scored 33 points to help the team beat the Grizzlies 95-88. Memphis is now 0-12 for the year.
He has to call a timeout. No, they're calling.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Bayada Nurses, heroes on the home front.
Brown Dog Dealership, first in the Lehigh Valley. Now save an additional 33% off the discounted amount. Sale going on now.
At Brown Daub, our reputation is everything.
Brown Daub Ford Lincoln Mercury, Route 191 in Nazareth.
Intuition, the essence of a woman. Intuition, the sensuous fragrance from Estee Lauder. 2 reasons to celebrate this exciting new collection and tote. Just $27.50 with any Estee Lauder purchase. Now at Strawbridge's.
The holiday season shines at J.E. Caldwell & Company Jewelers with the gift of gold and diamonds from a Roberto coin collection. Masterpieces of Italian gold, sophisticated, elegant, timeless. Give the perfect present from Roberto Coin and J.E. Caldwell & Company Jewelers.
This is a conversation between Jody and her dad, Lou. Lou filed a false insurance claim and got caught, and the story that Jody's dad was arrested spread all over school. Lou's had to pay lawyers' fees, he's had to pay fines, and now he's paying a price he never bargained for.
I'll see you after...
Brown Daub dealership, first in the Lehigh Valley. Now save an additional 33% off the discounted amount. Sale going on now.
At Brown Daub, our reputation is everything.
Brown Daub Chevy Old Volvo in Nazareth.
Good. Look at that. Hundreds of pumpkin pies are in the oven for a big holiday fundraiser. Each year, the Metropolitan AIDS Neighborhood Nutrition Alliance, or MANA, sells the pies for $20 a piece, and they look yummy. The proceeds are used to feed Thanksgiving dinners to folks living with HIV and AIDS. You can still order a pie up until noon tomorrow by calling MANA at 1-866-SKY-PIES. Give me about a dozen of them to go.
1-866-SKY Pies.
A little whipped cream.
Yeah, and you don't feel guilty because it's going to a good cause.
I never feel guilty anyway.
So that's true, you don't.
No.
So, all right. I got to learn how to do that. Let's check the traveler's forecast for folks heading out of town.
Those look good, man. Pumpkin pie's my favorite, too. All right, we've got some rain on the way later on here and clouds on the increase. How about your travel cities? Well, in Boston, sun early, but yeah, clouds moving in later on, and a high of 54 degrees. In Chicago, we're dealing with showers off and on all day long, a high of just 44 degrees. In New York City, increasing clouds, 54. Maybe some late rain. Orlando, showers, flight delays, 78 degrees. Pittsburgh, rain and drizzle, 50 degrees the high there. And in Washington, D.C., some late afternoon rain possible and some flight delays maybe, 54 degrees. Our high here in Philadelphia, 56 degrees, clouds building gradually as the day goes on. And yeah, there's the chance of an afternoon shower moving in today as well. Monica, Rick?
All right, thank you, David. 528. Still ahead on Action News are dry cleaning fluids tainting water wells in South Jersey. We'll take a look.
And a black tide is dangerously close to crippling Spain's fish and seafood industry. Big oil spill there. Those stories and another check of traffic. Much more when Action News continues in just a moment.
How much can you save on a new Toyota?
You'll never know until you go to Faulkner Toyota.
Faulkner Toyota will save you more on new Toyota cars and trucks. Faulkner Toyota beats the competition with discounts on all new minivans and sport utilities.
Faulkner Toyota has received extra shipments straight from the factory, plus an unbeatable selection of Toyota pre-owned certified cars.
How much can you save on a new Toyota?
You'll never know till you go to Faulkner Toyota.
Save more today on Route 1 in Trevose or on the web at FaulknerToBeSure.com.
Introducing the versatile all-wheel drive Subaru Baja. Part car, part truck, all choice. When you get it, you get it.
Get a sneak peek at the parade Saturday on 6 ABC.
Action News continues with Rick Williams and Monica Malpass.
Good morning again. It's 5:30 now on this Thursday, November 21st. Here's what's happening. A tractor trailer overturns on the Mid-County interchange, closing part of the turnpike. It could be a traffic nightmare, of course, for early morning commuters.
A guilty verdict for Cherry Hill Rabbi Fred Newlander, and now a jury must decide if he should live or die. And the search is on for this man. Police want to know what he knows about the murder of an elderly mainline woman.
All right, we had a nice day yesterday. A little more cloud cover today, but let's see what else the story includes with David Murphy. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, the temperatures are going to go back up to close to where they were yesterday, but yeah, the clouds are going to be on the increase, and late today we got the chance of a shower moving in. Dry for now as you step outside. Sky 6, action cam everywhere you look this morning. We got the dry roads and the dry airfield too. There's Sky 6 looking at the airport. Right now in Philadelphia, 37 degrees, chilly once again, so you got to bundle up early. Clouds in some areas reporting some fog. As you plan your day around temperatures and the weather, here's how it's going to go. Partly sunny by 9 o'clock. AccuWeather says it'll be somewhat cool, 47 degrees. By noon, 54, but the clouds really getting thick at that point. And by 5 o'clock, more clouds. Probably won't see any sun at all by 5. And we got the possibility of some of those showers coming in late in the afternoon, perhaps getting your afternoon rush hour a bit damp. 54 degrees coming down from our high of 56 degrees. The AccuWeather 5-day forecast lets us know how long this rain hangs around. Okay. We'll also look at the weekend just ahead.
All right, as long as there's none of that white stuff in the forecast.
Doesn't look like it.
All right, good. Thank you. And now let's get an update on traffic for your Thursday morning commute.
All right, back to John Valerio, who has been really working hard this morning. Good morning, John.
I think I'm going to take the rest of the week off.
Okay, no problem.
Anyway, I do want to do this report first, and I do want to go to the action cam once again to tell you about the Pennsylvania Turnpike. We are looking live just at Norristown. The westbound lanes all shut down with this overturned tractor trailer. As you can see, fuel spill in this area as well. We're told westbound lanes going to be closed for a while, maybe a couple hours, so you want to plan around that. Now, your alternate route around the westbound lanes at Norristown, we'll go to a map to explain that, is to exit just before that at 25A, which is the exit before and Mid-County. Take the Blue Route southbound to the Schuylkill Expressway westbound, back to the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Very basic alternate route around the westbound closure at Norristown. And let's head into New Jersey via maps. The other road closure, it is Route 130 as you head southbound. It is blocked at Park Avenue in Pennsauken, New Jersey. Police Department activity. They are investigating an earlier accident. We still have some downed wires and a pole in that area as well. But we do want to tell you some good news. We do have light traffic volume out there for the most part on the major highways. This is I-95 at Bridge Street. And Smart Traveler is brought to you by Sunoco. Stop into Sunoco. Get your 2002 Sunoco toy truck. It's a great holiday gift. I'm John Valerio for Channel 6 Action News. Monica, back to you.
All right, thanks again, John. In the news, now that the jury has decided Cherry Hill Rabbi Fred Newlander hired some hitmen to kill his wife, they must decide if his punishment should be life or death. The jury convicted Newlander of contract murder, felony murder, and conspiracy yesterday. After that verdict, prosecutor Jim Lynch spoke while Carol Newlander's family stood by him.
We are very pleased by the verdict returned this afternoon by this jury. We now move to a very critical phase of this case. It is extremely important that we are mindful of this defendant's rights as we begin that phase.
Newlander did not testify during the trial, but he plans to plead for his life during the penalty phase today. One former Cherry Hill neighbor of the Newlander family, Thomas Folger, put this sign out on his lawn last night, "Justice at last."
It's the right verdict. Finally. I think there's only 3 people in Camden County I've ever heard of that thought he was not guilty, and they were all on the jury the last time.
But Victoria Lombardi still believes Newlander's innocent. She has been romantically involved with the rabbi since 1998.
My heart hurts for him because I believe in his innocence. And my reaction is sadness and injustice. I feel it's so unjust and so unfair.
The Newlander home, the place where Carol was murdered, is now a rental property. Newlander, as we said, returns to court today for the penalty phase. He'll be sentenced to life or death, and of course Action News will have full coverage of the fateful proceedings in Monmouth County Court.
In other news this morning, 2 American soldiers have been shot on a highway in Kuwait. Both are alive but seriously wounded. They did not return gunfire, and the gunman is still at large there. Meantime, there's been another bus bombing in Jerusalem. At least 10 people have been killed, dozens wounded. Many of the victims include school children. Authorities say a suicide bus bomber set off the explosives, the first such attack in Jerusalem since August. So far, there's been no claim of responsibility, but Israel is blaming the attack on Palestinians. Back here at home, two different police are trying to track down a 28-year-old man for questioning in the murder of an elderly mainline woman. And this is the man police are seeking. He is 28-year-old Stephen C. Pinder. Authorities want to talk to him regarding the murder of 85-year-old Mildred Allen. She was found bludgeoned and stabbed to death Tuesday afternoon at her home at 1024 Townsend Circle Drive. Authorities say Pinder's last known address is with his father in the 900 block of Mount Pleasant, not too far from the victim's home. His name came to light after it was discovered he was wanted in nearby Radnor for 2 robberies at night.
In light of the fact that a weapon is displayed, we're very concerned that this could escalate or somebody could become injured, so we're asking the public's help.
Meanwhile, friends of the victim say she retired from the Veterans Administration in Philadelphia some 20 years ago and was in the process of selling her home and moving into an assisted living facility. Philadelphia police have released a surveillance tape they hope will help them catch an armed robber. The tape shows a man with a gun holding up a store in the 2700 block of Girard Avenue in North Philadelphia on Sunday. Police think the man, described as 6 feet tall and 190 pounds, may be linked to as many as 5 store robberies in the area, and they're asking anyone with information to call Central Detectives.
That they won't come forward against them. But we believe we can get their cooperation and the other store owners in the area.
Once again, if you have any information, you're asked to call Central Detectives at 215-686-3094.
A woman about to buy a house in Gloucester County, New Jersey, made an awful discovery that the home's well water has potentially dangerous levels of dry cleaning fluid in it. Christine Turner found out about the problem thanks to a new state law requiring water testing when a private well is sold. Well, tests turned up more than 18 times the state limit for tetrachloroethylene. The chemical compound has increased the risk of cancer in lab animals. And here was her reaction.
If you think, why? You know, why it's here and how it got here, and, you know, what are the dangers of it?
Neighbors in the area have received a letter from the county health department alerting them about it. The department will test their wells in December. Meanwhile, health officials said anyone concerned with their well drinking water should drink bottled water. Pennsylvania Governor-elect Ed Rendell is taking on the state's medical malpractice crisis in his first major policy statement since his election victory. Rendell announced yesterday he was forming a special task force made up of doctors, lawyers, insurers, business and labor leaders. They'll try to find a solution to the problem of rising malpractice insurance rates, a problem that has led some doctors to leave the state and some hospitals to consider cutting back on services. And here's more now from the governor-elect.
But we have to look at the reimbursement issue on the short term and the long term. We have to look at the practices of the insurance industry. We have to look at the tort reform situation. We have to look at how doctors and hospitals police themselves.
Rendell says he wants short-term recommendations from the task force by January 20th. That is the day before his inauguration.
All right, 5:37 the time now, Thursday morning, getting closer to that weekend, and David Murphy has the 5-day forecast, which encompasses that weekend.
Yeah, and we got a lot of changes ahead in the 5-day, too. A lot to talk about, actually. Storm Tracker 6 live radar showing you no rain for now. That could change later today, though. We'll go outside, and you can see dry conditions at the shore and elsewhere around the Delaware Valley at this early hour. But again, some showers late today are possible. Right now, we're starting out cool. 37 degrees in Philadelphia, humidity 100%, barometer 30.09 and falling. The winds once again are light, so that's good, out of the southeast at just 3 miles per hour, and the ocean water temperature 52 degrees. Of course, yesterday was such a gorgeous day, but you can see the changes on the East Coast today. Cloud cover getting a little bit thicker now as we go through the day. We think that is going to be a continuing pattern with clouds thickening up. And then you've got some showers out to the west, some rain developing down to the south, and it looks like later on today we'll see a little bit of that. Mild air still in place across much of the U.S. 73 today's high in Dallas, 63 in Denver, which for this time of year isn't all that bad. Ridge of high pressure out there in the west. But a trough is starting to dig down into the east. We told you this was going to happen, and we've got cooler air sinking down out of the Great Lakes and Canada. Here in the northeast, we're going to hold on to one more decent day temperature-wise, although atmospherically things are starting to deteriorate. 56 degrees today's high, a few degrees above normal, but with a frontal boundary coming in from the west, it'll be mostly cloudy, and late this afternoon, some afternoon rain is possible. Look for it to arrive anytime after about 4 o'clock, and yeah, the afternoon rush hour could potentially be a little bit wet. Then as we head into the overnight period and into Friday, the rain and drizzle stays with us. Tomorrow's high again 56 degrees, but it'll feel kind of cool and damp with that off and on rain and drizzle. Not only do we have that frontal boundary from the west, but there'll also be low pressure off the coast as well. And then cold air sitting just out to the west of us is going to crash in for the weekend. You'll see that in the 5-day. Call from AccuWeather going downhill just a little bit today. Temperature doesn't drop all that much. Yesterday's high 58. Boy, what a beaut that was. Today's high 56 degrees. But again, the clouds on the increase and that late rain is going to make things a little bit less enjoyable today. 31 degrees in Trenton right now. Same thing in Allentown. 32 in Reading. Oddly enough, it's actually milder up in the Poconos because you had thicker cloud cover overnight in the Poconos insulating things. 32 in Reading, 39 in Harrisburg, 33 in Lancaster, 34 in Wilmington, 34 in Atlantic City, 41 in Cape May, and 37 in Dover. A little milder down to the south because of that moderating influence of the ocean water and the Delaware Bay water. 41 degrees in Center City, 40 at the station right now, 37 at Philadelphia International, 39 in Camden, and the freezing mark in the northeast. How about that exclusive AccuWeather 5-day forecast? Well, more clouds moving into the picture gradually today. 56 degrees the high, and again this afternoon the chance of some showers moving in. And then tonight, 48 degrees, rain and drizzle. Not quite as bad temperature-wise, but it's going to be kind of damp. Friday, more rain and drizzle off and on. Another high of 56 degrees, and then the change comes for the weekend. Cooler air crashes into the Delaware Valley. We wind up with a high on Saturday of just 46 degrees, and what's worse, it's going to be kind of windy and cool, so it's going to feel pretty raw. In fact, if some of that Friday precipitation is still hanging around on Saturday morning, you might even see a couple of flurries in the morning. No big deal there, though. Sunday, sun giving way to clouds, still chilly, 48 degrees. And how about Monday? Clouds and sun? Just 44 degrees. So we hope you enjoyed yesterday.
We certainly did.
Okay, then. Thanks anyway, Carol.
All right, there you go.
Short-lived. All right, 5:41 the time now. Much more still to come on Action News Thursday morning. Is McDonald's responsible for overweight kids? Some say yes.
Plus, Spanish fishermen fear another Exxon Valdez-style catastrophe is headed straight for their rich fishing waters. We'll have those stories, a traffic update from Smart Traveler, and much more when Action News comes right back.
Oh, there's no place like home.
Lowe's brings home improvement home for the holidays. Lowe's has a holiday store within a store to make it easier than ever to decorate your home. And Lowe's has low prices every day, guaranteed. That's our promise. For 56 years, we've been helping families celebrate the holidays.
For the holidays, you can't beat home, sweet home.
And improving home improvement.
Strawbridge's biggest mattress event of the year is this Friday through Sunday. Take an extra 25% off all mattresses. Every Sealy Posturepedic, Serta Perfect Sleeper, Simmons Beauty Rest, and Spring Air Back Supporter. Plus, get free delivery, bed frame, and disposal of your old bed. Twins start at just $39.99 each. Serta Perfect Sleeper Queen sets are $299.99. Take advantage of deferred billing. Buy now, make no payment till March. Plus, use your shopping pass this Friday through Sunday at Strawbridge's.
At Arcadia, education is about perspective on your world, your life, your career. Arcadia University, wisdom to grow on, worlds to explore.
Visit WPVI.com and check out graduate programs to make a difference in your life.
They say you can't judge a book by its cover, but you can judge my book warehouse by the discounts and service. And while other stores have raised prices, Atlantic Book Warehouse has lowered them. We discount every book, every day, no exceptions. Up to 80%. If you've never shopped at one of my book warehouses, you're in for a treat. So if you still want coffee, be my guest. But if you want the best price, be my customer. Atlantic Book Warehouse. Think of us as a supermarket for your mind.
What about now? How about tonight? Baby, for once, let's don't think twice. Let's take that spin that never ends that we've been talking about. What about now? Yeah! Oh,
5:44 the time now, Thursday morning. Let's check traffic for you once again.
All right, back to our buddy John Valerio. And what do you have, John?
First of all, we do want to talk about the Turnpike once again. Go back to the action cam. They are out there to help us out because the westbound lanes of the Pennsylvania Turnpike are closed, and they are going to be closed for a couple hours, we are told, by the Turnpike. As you can see, overturned tractor trailer in this area. The westbound lane's blocked just in the area between Norristown and Mid-County. It's about a mile difference between the two, actually. And your alternate route is to exit at Mid-County and take the Blue Route southbound to the Schuylkill Expressway westbound, and that'll take you back to the Pennsylvania Turnpike just at Valley Forge, which is interchange 24. Now, we do want to head to a map because we want to tell you about another accident, this one being in New Jersey. Another road closure, as we said, a short time ago. It is Route 130 southbound that is blocked at Park Avenue in Pennsauken. Police department activity there investigating an earlier accident. We still have some downed wires and a pole in that area as well. And let's take a Sky 6 look at the Schuylkill Expressway just near the Blue Route 476. As you can see, very light traffic volume out there. Eastbound on the Schuylkill Expressway heads right across your screen to the left. On the Schuylkill East and West, we are in very good shape. And Smart Traveler is brought to you by Sunoco. Stop into Sunoco. Get your 2002 Sunoco toy truck. It's a great holiday gift. And I'm John Valerio for Channel 6 Action News. Rick, back to you.
All right, John, thank you again. Bad weather is compounding an ecological disaster along the northwest coast of Spain. Fierce winds are blowing more sludge towards shore from the tanker that sank Tuesday with 20 million gallons of heavy fuel oil on board. Up to 60 miles an hour winds are pushing what officials are calling a black tide toward an area vital to Spain's fish and seafood industry. The gooey mess has already tarred nearly 180 miles of shoreline there.
Time for the Action News Business Report, and a class action suit's been filed against the McDonald's restaurant chain. The lawsuit's on behalf of children who have suffered health problems allegedly caused by McDonald's.